Hello, everyone. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If? Yeah. That Frog Boy. Yeah. What if Frogman was in My Hero Academia? But I'll still call him Frog Boy because yeah. So, I was like going down my own list of my own back of my own head, and I stumbled upon, because I also was watching like the old concept of the Frog Girl. It was like used to be the boy version here. The male counterpart here. Male counterpart. So, yeah. This one. And it got me this idea. So, yeah. So, but I'm still, because this is an alternate version. Like, Frog Boy is, in this alternate universe, is different from her. So, yeah. But he, instead of being born as a human, he was born as a world's biggest frog. Yeah. Like, imagine bigger than him. Like if I put like small All Mights stacked on top of each other's. He's biggest one. He's like the super giant, like colossal giant or colossal titan frog, basically. And it's bigger than Mountain Lady, so yeah. That's how big he was. So yeah, let's begin with Frog Boy. He was like just he was born as a frog, so yeah. So but he was not just an ordinary like leap kind. He's more of he's the biggest one. He's like a monster size. Yeah, colossal. Like, I'm trying to say this in like, I made so he had a quirk, a power, or he has a powers of infinity and zero, and he also has the human. Basically, he could transform into a human at will. So human size looks like that. I was trying to go for like a more of a like that color skin thing, but I keep messing it up. So I'm like, okay, done. And he's quite taller than like Frog Girl by herself. Yeah. So he looks like a old size. So yeah. He's actually 15. Or he went from, because tadpoles to like frogs. Yeah, and then, yeah. So, but he goes from tadpole, little toddler at age of 1, to frog at age of 4, and then I'm trying to get them, don't be confused, first of all, because my character in this What If has really long life cycle. So, you take basically a human life cycle and a frog life cycle. And I don't remember exactly how long frogs live, but tell me in the comments below. So, yes, let's move on. So, he's in 15. He does attend school. Well, and everyone looks at him like a freak show. And because of his quirk. Or actually, because of... Yeah, they always called him a freak show more times than every time he shows up to school. But he actually has a crush on someone. You could see her. Yeah, that girl. He does have a crush on him, or her, sorry. I just woke up like a couple minutes ago, so yeah. So, yeah. So he has a crush on her. But she doesn't know that he loves her, but she actually loves him too. Because he knows how she feels about it. Been called a freak show most of her life too. But but the frog boy, doesn't care about if as he's always been in a swamp. He keeps telling himself that she's a snake, or she has the snake head, so... And normally, as he remembers her, or he remembers that he's a frog that usually sometimes gets eaten by snakes all the time, because that's how he knows that. And some of the frogs, I forgot to mention, he also has resistance to poison. So he could pick up the poisonous dart frog, I believe, without him getting poisoned. Plus, or without him having all the negative effects of it. And in this alternate universe, she actually goes to UA. Similar to, Frog Boy goes to UA too. And he was kind of a same. But every time he sees her, his heart starts to pound. Yeah. And also reason why I made this What If about because of new characters been introduced. It's like her in like movies or TV shows or in canon. He actually, so I had, and plus it takes a break from making like Zuko alternates one. Yeah, so now let's continue. Zuko, or so Frog Boy, he gets Class 1B. And the snake thing, the snake thing gets, sorry, I just had to like do something. So yeah, so Zuko, or I keep saying Zuko, so Snake Girl, her, goes to Class 1A. And she hangs out with her. Yeah. I am not gonna allow myself to basically using the her or using the male counterpart. So yeah. So some stuff that in this whatever is quite different. So yeah, so as he was so happy that he actually has the same abilities, like a powers thing, because of he doesn't just have like he doesn't have, or no, he has powers of infinity, zero, and he also has mimic things like powers without like having to feel the downsides to it. And so he goes over her and he visits with, or he's quite clumsy. Yeah, I'm making him clumsy too. So they basically, yeah, he's taller than Frog Girl. Yeah. So let's continue. They go to UA. I'm doing a time skip, so to UA. Or Class 1A and Class 1B went to UA. As he's just relaxed. As everybody's like, man, that boy is just too relaxed for our taste. Yeah. So, and then the villain shows up. They teleport everyone randomly. And they teleported him to the waters, others, and yeah, with what? Yeah, so he's basically with her, as he's like, you have the same powers as I have. Or actually, my natural abilities. Really? And she's like, she has a question over her, or a question mark over her head, as she's like confused. Yeah. As they, as she looks at his feet and his hands, as he shows, yes, all four of us need to go climb over or jump over. But how? Oh, there's villains in the water? Huh. There's a will, there's a way. And because his nickname is like that, frogs like always tells him, like gave him actual name of Big Frog. It's like the Big Daddy one. Big Frog. As he just like, ooh. So then he jumps into the water. As he says, as he stops his quirk, like basically, as he becomes full size, as he turns, or as he did like grab the boat before, or the boat was literally on top of his head. Yeah. As he says, huh. As he like grabs it, puts it on land. As he did, it was like a kiddie pool for him. So then he jumps out of the water and like he's like, huh. As he uses his long tongue, grabs the Nomu, and like he grabs it, pulls the Nomu away from All Might before as he chomps down on the Nomu's body. Yeah. As the Nomu gets killed. Right then and there. As he wipes the blood off of his mouth. And they're like, they looked at him and they're like, dang. As they can't believe that the wrong just ate. As he was a pretty big guy. So then when he transforms back into human, he's like, yeah, that's actually what I mean by me before, or that's my natural ability. Well, I'm a giant frog, basically. You were born as a human with a frog abilities. Me, I'm the opposite. Wow. So I don't mind rest of you calling me a freak show. So, but I'm one dangerous frog. Watch out. As he starts laughing his head off. As the powers, or what else? Any other powers do you have? Well, I have the power of infinity, zero, and the mimic. So it can mimic other powers without any downsides. Like basically I could mimic the Snake Girls as his quirk if I wanted to. Or if someone actually has powers, I can mimic their powers. The entire universe too. So yeah. So basically So so they're like, man, you're one tough toad, aren't you? Yeah. As the I was gonna make a joke, but I'm just gonna link. So yeah, let's continue. So before he went back to his swamp, basically, to just sit in the bath, the Snake Girl who walks up to him, and she did notice that he's always, or when she asked the frog girl, the one that I keep butchering her name, or always pronounce her name wrong, though not him, I think, her. She asked her about did he say anything about me? No, but you're so, or as Frog Girl says, I did notice that every time you see him, you always end up blushing. Yeah. As she's like, yeah. And that kind of makes sense. Not really. It's just in this what if. Nothing makes sense in any of these what ifs. So, yeah. So, basically, Zuko as she basically loves him, like basically her girl, or I always keep calling her a Frog Girl because so Frog Girl tells her that he's a frog that has human-like appearance, and do you care? As she looks at Frog Girl, and says, I really don't care. And I love him more than anything. As she actually loves him so much. So after that, he was about to walk to his swamp. Basically, because he's a frog, and he's used to. So then Snake Girl, Snake Girl walks up to him, but instead of, she did tap on his shoulder before, as he turns around and he sees her, but then next minute or next second, she ends up kissing him right on the lips. As Yeah, who knows? Yeah. As she basically, as his face becomes all red, like blushing red, and as she tells him that she wants him to date her, or no, actually, she decided, or this is what she said, I decided to date you. Okay? As his face becomes all red, and as she walks her to her house, and yeah, as the, yeah, he's his face is still like burning red, kind, as she actually loves him so much. Yeah. So when he basically got home, or got to his swamp thing, his, as the frogs are like ready to play. Yeah. But I'm just, give me a minute to, like, for my face to calm down. As he's doing like what Ochako did in that mall episode where she's just like basically fanning herself to trying to calm herself down. Oh, as her face, because his face is like super hot, as he's just fanning himself. Oh, because of how much he had. And you guys might not notice, but that pink stuff in the character's mouth is actually its tongue. I made it pink instead of like bright red. So yeah, his face got turned so like red, just like that frog's skin color, the one back of its hand, but way more brighter color, or like brighter than her hair. Yeah. So yeah. So then the time skip. I'm to All Might versus All for One. So yeah, during all that time, the Rug Boy, basically him basically dates Snake Girl, and or every time she says like, or she looks at him before, and she tells him that, she says the 3 words. You know what those 3 words are? I love you. Yeah, basically she says that to him every day, and that gives his face more of a like embarrassing look. And she starts to giggle at him, or she starts giggling at him because of it. And yeah. And he was pretty big or big than the wrong girl. So yeah. I know I ran out of my time limit on my, but that's okay. So now during All Might versus All for One thing, Rug Boy decided to do something really funny. He turns into his giant, or colossal frog, basically, the bigger than any anime frogs that are, yeah. So he jumps into the air, he lands on a moon, and he jumps back down to Earth, and as All Might, so All For One says any last words, as a injured All Might was like, yeah, don't be standing there if I was you. As All For One's confused, what do you mean? As a giant-sized frog just lands, well, bam! Lands right on the All For One. And yeah, the guy, his foot landed right on All For One. Yeah, turning him into a pancake at this point. Yeah, as he's like, am I late to the feast? As he turns around, he looks down at, he didn't move his foot. As he grabs or actually, All For One got killed. Because the quirk didn't generate enough fast enough. So what does he do? Well, bam! Death by a toad. He just got toad, boy. So yeah. Sorry, I'm making myself laugh. So yeah. So then he transforms back into a human, and he's like, I mean, that was fun. He did grab a moon rock so that with his, like, frog hands, basically, to keep him, yeah. So he did, like, close his wrist and, yeah. So then it was finally time. So her parents got introduced by her to, yeah. And she basically, her parents did notice that he's not just an average, like, yeah. So he's basically he's basically a toad or giant frog, basically. Yeah. The tadpole for him, because he was born as a tadpole, was bigger than a full-size car. And then he becomes like that. And then, yeah. So, and I am not making fun of Naruto's as frogs or whatever that weird anime's ones. I'm just trying to use them as examples. So, yeah. So then after that, the rungs basically ends. So then the time skipped to 18. So they both are 18. And yeah, so then they got married. And like, yeah, just imagine the frogs are looking for a dress, or not dress, a suit for their big frog, basically. Yeah. He doesn't, so yeah. So, he basically, yeah. a suit is quite, yeah. So then they got married and had a lot of kids because he had, or so the kids were, they inherit both like species types. So a snake type and a frog type. I don't know what it makes. So probably a reptile, maybe a snake with arms and legs? That would be crazy. Yeah. So, yeah. In all honesty, they are basically, or actually had 500 kids inside of her stomach. Yeah. So, yeah. So she had 500 kids. And plus half of them, like 20%, or no, 20% of them are girls. 30% of them are boys. So they all, 500 of those kids is probably like, they did teach them how to transform, or he did teach them how to transform into humans when they got older, and yeah. And so, oh yeah. So yeah, they basically, yeah. So she went from being a shy girl that she actually loves the frog girl or frog boy. And he does meet the frog girls as family. Here. Let's do family. First, he meets the. Okay. Yeah. First, he meets her mother, then her father, then their kids, or their brother and sister. As he's like, huh. As he starts giggling at himself, as everybody's like wondering, out of all four of them, or all five of them, who would be the tallest one, or if he was a sibling of those. So they were like, huh. Or she did like tell him that he's just like, man, you look more human. Yeah. So I'm actually a frog, basically. Compared to the rest of you, as he says, compared to the rest of you, I see you all as humans with frog powers. But me, I don't have that kind of. I'm the opposite. I'm a frog with human powers, or quirks. Really? Yeah. You want to see? Sure. As one of them says, sure. As the others, like the 44-year-old guy says, sure, let's see. All right. I would recommend backing up for it. As he basically turns into his big form, into his as he says, you actually outbeat us on height. Yeah. He is taller than the Frog Girls' father, so he's like, yeah. In every way. So, now, with that out of the way, with this video is done, so I'm glad that I got it out of my head, so, or should I say out of a workshop, basically. Because maybe one of these days, we will I'm possibly going to make another What If Zuko one, or making a brand new character. Because I did a lot for My Hero Academia one, and Seven Deadly Sins. You guys didn't know go check out my Moo What If? Not Momo What If, it's the Moo. Moomoo. If you haven't known that, go check it out. So, have fun, and please make sure to hit a like button, subscribe, comment, and do all that fun stuff. And I'll put, so, peace out.